We just had the first big showcase of the year. I got the highlights. There's already a new showcase we can look forward to, so let's go over everything we can expect. Ubisoft shut down a studio, we got some interesting leaks, and way more gaming news to go over. So good that you're joining the weekly news roundup, and let's go. On January 22nd, Xbox will host their annual Developer Direct stream, and nowadays these shows are interesting even if you are on PlayStation. Forza Horizon 6 will be one of the big games they focus on, and we know that it's coming to PlayStation 5 later on. We're also getting a new look at Beast of Reincarnation from Pokemon developer Game Freak, a game that was announced at the Xbox Game Showcase last year. It's an action RPG, it looks surprisingly great, and it's also dropping on PS5 day one. But I'm mostly interested in Fable. On Twitter they note that they've been working on Fable for a really long time, and that it's time to show much more. Tune into the Developer Direct at 10 AM PT on January 22nd for our first deep dive into the game. A reminder that this game was announced in 2020, so yes, it has indeed been a very long time. But every small snippet they've shown so far looks at least stunning. Now let's hope that the story and gameplay will be very good too. This showcase will be very important. And yes, also for this game, while it has not been officially announced yet, we learned from Video Game Chronicle sources that it is in fact coming to PlayStation 5 day one. I'm sure they will confirm that during the Developer Direct as well, and maybe they will also give us a release date. One of my predictions for 2026 was that this game would be slipping to 2027, but with them having it here at the Developer Direct, yeah, it does seem that it's actually coming out in 2026. If you are curious, by the way, about more of my 2026 predictions, I will leave a link to that video in the video description. And these Developer Directs are also famous for their secret games. We of course had the shadow drop of Hi-Fi Rush during the first Developer Direct. Last year they revealed Ninja Gaiden 4 as a surprise game, and this year there will again be a secret game, although it will be a smaller scale original title from an Xbox studio. Place your bets in the comments. Maybe it's another Double Fine game. They launched Keeper last year, but maybe they've been working on more stuff. Maybe it's a Ninja Theory, that next to Hellblade, they have been cooking something else. I'll of course bring you all the news here and on my other channels. Ubisoft has shut down their Canadian Halifax studio with 71 jobs affected. This was the studio that originally worked on Rocksmith before being acquired by Ubisoft. After that, they released and supported the mobile game Assassin's Creed Rebellion. This will now be shutting down following the studio closure, and they were helping with the development of Rainbow Six Mobile, and we learned this week that that game will be launching on February 23rd, 2026. Ubisoft has not launched a truly successful free-to-play game, especially not on mobile, so I'm curious how this Rainbow Six game will go. It's not a surprise that Ubisoft Halifax was hit as part of Ubisoft's restructuring program. The sad part is that the developers had only recently formed their first labor union and are now being shut down, although Ubisoft stresses that this was not part of the reason. We will of course never know if that is true. Overall though, it does seem smarter for Ubisoft to focus on their bigger hits rather than smaller mobile titles, with the first big one seemingly being Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the remake. If you follow these Sunday videos, then you know that the game was already rated by an official rating board. It's called Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, and now YouTuber The Hidden One also found the domain name for the game registered by Ubisoft. I get this question a lot: when will it be announced, as it's clearly coming, with rumors pointing to the final week of March as a potential release date. Like, we know it's at least coming before April. Ubisoft rarely does short marketing cycles for their big games, so they're either trying something new, looking at what happened with the Oblivion Remastered last year, which of course really worked for them. They did a stream and basically shadow dropped the game, or something has been delayed, so they're working behind the scenes hard and figuring out a new reveal plan, or it's coming the following weeks. I would not hold my breath. Just focus on other things. It will be here before you know it, and I will of course keep you up to date here. So subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a like. And yes, I'm doing one of these Sunday videos every Sunday. Time for quick shots, news stories I'll go over quickly. We had the first showcase of the year, the New Game Plus showcase from my friend Luke Stevens, together with other creators. It was certainly way too long, clocked in at around the 4 hours. I think they heard the feedback though, but there were still a few interesting things discussed that I want to highlight. For one, it seems that Crimson Desert is still on track for a March 19th release. They noted that the world is twice the size of Skyrim, so also bigger than Red Dead Redemption 2, But of course, size doesn't matter if it's empty, and they seem to know that. We should expect some deep dives into the open world exploration before release, and I will keep you of course posted here. Avowed, the Obsidian RPG that launched last February for Xbox and PC, is now coming to PlayStation 5 on February 17th. They're also doing an anniversary update with new races, weapon types, new game plus, and a photo mode. So you could argue that the PS5 gets a way more complete version of the game, and it also launches at a lower price, $50 instead of $70 for the standard edition. I think $50 is way more fair for this game, but it is kinda wild that it has a lower launch price on PlayStation 5 versus Xbox a year ago. Now let me know if you're interested in Avowed in the comments down below. The Division also had a segment at the show focused on the survival mode coming to The Division 2, and the creative director who worked on the original concept for The Division 1 is also helping with the survival mode for The Division 2. They talked about the mobile game again, which should be out before April, and the overall Division producer Julian, who also was the creative director on Star Wars Outlaws. I don't know, he looked pretty tired in the interview, I hope he's okay, but he did talk about the Division 3, which we know they are working on, saying that it's going to be a monster and that he thinks it will have the same impact as the Division 1. I would be shocked if that happened, but at least they seem to be ambitious. If you don't remember, The Division was one of the biggest new franchise launches ever, making $330 million in the first 5 days and hitting a 1.2 million peak concurrent user count over the weekend. So that was the first weekend the game was available, while The Division 2 actually underperformed. So that's why I would be shocked if The Division 3 has the same impact as 1. The game likely won't be out until 2028 at the earliest. I wish them luck. And another thing I quickly want to highlight from the New Game Plus showcase was XA Killer, which looks like a mix between Cyberpunk and a Fallout New Vegas. It's obviously less of an RPG, but the combat and environments look very solid. We got multiple quick ones in the rumor roundup this week, where I look at the biggest leaks and rumors of the week and rate them with stars. 3 being I believe it, and 1 being let's take this with a huge grain of salt. So instead of working on Indiana Jones 2, it seems that Machine Games is going to make a new Wolfenstein instead. This was first reported by Jess Gordon from Windows Central and later confirmed by Kotaku as well. Jess also notes that Machine Games is doing a Rainbow Six style game next to working on Wolfenstein 3, and there's a Wolfenstein Amazon show coming, so having a new game around that would of course be smart. 3 stars for this, I totally believe it will happen. We got an official rating for a brand new Life is Strange game called Reunion, which seems to be coming to PlayStation 5. They note March 27th, 2025, but they likely mean 2026, which would be on a Friday. There's a ton in this description, but it's basically a reunion between Chloe and Max from the first game. I really like the start of Life is Strange double exposure, but it kind of went off the rails halfway through, if you know, you know. Now I would love a good new entry though in the series with these characters. But yeah, also 3 stars for this. This is not going to get rated with a description if it is for nothing, like they're not making this stuff up. I could see this being revealed at an upcoming State of Play likely in February. And then maybe you saw the rumor going around this week that there would be a third GTA 6 delay. This was based on comments from Jason Schreier about the fact that the game is not yet content complete and that the developers are still finalizing missions and levels. Jason later clarified in an article on Bloomberg that he was basically noting that no one at Rockstar knows if the game will be delayed because it's just simply hard to tell 10 months from launch. In game development, anything can happen, but if he had to bet, he does think that the game will hit the November 19 date. This was also one of my 2026 predictions, but I do think the new GTA Online won't be out this year. Again, a link to all my predictions in the video description. I can't really give stars here, but basically there were no substantial rumors that there would be another GTA 6 delay. We basically just have to wait and see. This coming week we will see Star Wars Outlaws come to Game Pass Ultimate. It of course has been improved quite a lot since launch, so if you have the service, I would say give it a shot. I especially love the first DLC, and the second one is pretty good too. So my weekly Assassin's Creed Shadows stream is now on the JorRaptor channel. Check it out there. And I'm doing my weekly news stream on Wednesday now because I cannot make it on Monday anymore. You can watch that, set a reminder by clicking on the screen here. Hope to see you there. I have way more content, of course, coming throughout the week, and a news roundup like this at the end. So I hope you have an amazing week. I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.